Welcome to Living Magically. I'm your host, Magical Michelle, and we are deep in the big, beautiful energy of transformation. What is happening right now is we are on the very last edge of Pisces as we leap into the astrological new year. And probably by the time you're watching this or listening to this, you probably are actually in the new Aries new year energy. We have this wow spring equinox. And every time we have the spring equinox, it is really truly the beginning of spring. We have spring, and it is this place of balance. So the spring equinox, no matter where you are, if you're feeling it in the northern hemisphere, it's the beginning of spring. If you're feeling it in the southern hemisphere, it's the beginning of fall. And either way, I like to think of it as the black and the white, the yin and the yang. And I always have this I have this candle holder that I've used for years to celebrate this particular timing, whether it's fall or spring. I use a black candle in a white holder and a white candle in a black holder. And it represents this moment of balance. And the balance is that of night and day being exactly the same. It is not above or below. It's not longer or shorter. And so the day and the night are exactly the same. And isn't that what we're looking for? The balance of the yin and the yang, the balance of the masculine and the feminine, the balance of the right and the left brain, the giving and the receiving. So anytime we have an equinox, both spring and fall, I really get clear and focused on this where in my life do I need to return to a place of balance? Where in my life do I need to restore something that has gone way overboard? Maybe I'm giving too much. Maybe I'm receiving too much. And so this is a big time for me. It's always a big time. And I, of course, love the spring equinox because it's a new beginning. When you hit Aries season, it's the astrological first sign of the zodiac. And it's a little early this year. The spring equinox is actually on the 19th. Sometimes it's as late as the 22nd. So it can be anywhere in this particular time frame, but we are going to meet this energy on the 19th, and you'll feel it. We're already feeling it if you're here on Monday night, and you'll feel it all the way into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as we go through this place of equilibrium, this place of balance and reset. And of course, every time there's an ending, there's a new beginning. So we are ending the old cycles, and there's no better time to do that than right before an eclipse season. So we're in still the forward movement of the new moon that just happened last week, moving forward. So we're in that halfway mark between the new moon and the full moon. But understand it, this full moon that will come up next week will be an eclipse. And I'll get much more into that next Tuesday. But just knowing that it's the Libra eclipse, I want you to remember that's Venus issues. And so Venus topics are going to be things like love and, of course, balance. Because Libra is the one holding the scales. So we're getting this double energy of what must be finished, complete, or done before the eclipse cycle. And I hope it's probably done by now. And what are you claiming, energizing, and starting, and planting, and growing for high growth season? This is really, what are you doing for the next 6 months, and what are you doing for the next year? So we look at this in sort of like a 30-day cycle, a 6-month cycle, because we will have another set of eclipses in the fall. And then, of course, because it's the start of the astrological year, what is happening for the whole year. And because it's a new eclipse cycle, what is happening for the next 2.5 years, because that's how long an astrological eclipse cycle really lasts, with it being the new polarity of Aries and Libra. And to just throw an extra little topper on here, we have the North Node also in Aries. So everything right now is that wounded healer and the new beginning, and the what is your true following. As you look at the cosmos, as you look at the stars, sometimes it looks a little overwhelming. But if you bring it down to the microcosm of I am that I am, this is who you are, and bring it really down to who am I, where am I going, what am I doing, who am I connecting to, who am I being, and who am I becoming, that's the Aries. Because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the first sign. So it has a little bit of that first child or only child energy of I am, and I don't want to think of it as selfish as much as self-aware. And so it's really about the single entity of self. We'll get into the energy of coupling next week with the eclipse and the energy of the Libra eclipse full moon. But here it's still about the single soul self and the soul's evolution. So what are you doing to evolve self? What are you doing to follow that North Star for yourself? What are you claiming, owning, starting? It's a great time to start something. We still have another week before we get into Mercury retrograde shadow, and we have until the 1st of April before we get into our first retrograde. So no planets are in retrograde right now. You have the forward motion of every day gets brighter in the sun. Every single day for the next 3 months, all the way till the summer solstice, the sun gets bigger and bigger in the sky. So we honor the fact that every day is brighter. There's more sun, more growth, more light in the world. Where is that more light in your own self? How do you become more heart-centered? How do you become more aligned with your purpose and your plan and your experience? That's what's happening right now. Beautiful time for magic, with this being the year of the dragon. This is your portal season. We're moving into it, and we're leaning up to these big energies that are happening in April. So this is sort of that last week of the sweet spot before we get an eclipse. And then what happens in an eclipse? When we move into eclipse energy, there's transformation and change. We can't help it, especially with Taurus and Jupiter, all of that. We're looking at change we aren't expecting. So, think about the fact that this isn't even a time that we can plan. We have to be. When the world goes all over the place, up and down, round and round, twirls around, we have to be the center of our own circle. We have to be the calm in our own storm. So I go back to Aries energy is about becoming self-fulfilled. And we're in a soulful time. We're really, really digging deep here in what does our heart desire? Does that desire love? Libra Eclipse, Venus ruled. So if you want love, get really clear on who you're calling in and note whether you're being that person. If you're looking for someone to be a certain way for you, are you being that way for you? It's also Venus energy, so we're talking about money. Are you handling your money with integrity? Are you giving any energy to lack? We can't be in lack mentality right now. We have to be in the gratitude, even if you can't see what you're looking for. If you can't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. The waters are a little murky right now, and yet it's important and potent and powerful to get super duper focused. Get really crystal clear. And one of the ways I do that is ask the universe. I go into a state where I get meditative and I literally ask, what do I need to know right now? What am I working on? What's my next most important step today? And that's going to bring you this opening, because Aries is passionate. We're going to look at the next month. What is your passion? We're fire here. We're movement, and we're creating, and we're excited, and we're doing something that we've never done before. And if that feels like a risk, do it anyway. There's definitely a risk-taking energy about what's transpiring. And there's also an energy about being really clear about what you want. We have a couple of big transits coming where Venus is going to be in Pisces and Mars is going to be in Pisces, just 2 days apart from each other. We're going to have one happen. The Venus is in Pisces on, and it's going to conjunct the Saturn in Pisces on the 21st. And then we have Mars entering Pisces. And because these have contracting energies, we're going to see about the 21st and 22nd, we're going to start seeing those polarities. That the good part of the equinox is on the 19th. That's where we're going to feel balanced. We want to use Tuesday and into Wednesday to feel and restore balance in our lives. Return the light, feel the light, look at the shadow, look at that balancing act. And as you do that, there's these 2 days, the 19th and the 20th, where you can really get grounded and connected at the same time, centering in the heart. That's what I always see the equinox as its best use for. Let go of anything that's holding you back, claim anything that you're claiming, but really bring the energy of light and universal consciousness down into your heart, but also ground through your tailbone into the earth and bring that earth energy back up through your feet, through your legs, into your lower chakras, and back up to your heart. Your heart is the altar to your soul. And so we want to be really centered in our heart right now. We want to be really clear that this is our manifestation, heart-centered, heart-calibrated. Cleanse, clear, release, and let go of anyone, anything that isn't serving you. And we're seeing some surprise breakups. We're seeing people leaving jobs. We're seeing people moving on. But so they can be blessed, so they can be refilled, so that they can have what they really want, so that they can feel really honored and valued and in creation mode. And I realize there's a lot going on right now. You have solar flares and you have geomagnetic storms going on. So the Schumann resonance is all over the place, and you may feel all over the place. I recommend and encourage and can't say enough, your biggest solution is to have the deepest self-care practices you have ever had in your entire life. Drink more water, walk barefoot on the grass, take deep breaths, do guided meditation, do breath work, get a massage, create some art, do anything that's a new beginning, anything that makes you feel alive, grounded, creative, centered. Plant a garden, anything that's going to bring you joy and creativity and creation. And, make a little love if that's right for you. A beautiful time for connecting with people you care about. So that can be romantic connections, it can be friendship connections, it can be group activities, family activities. I know that if you are in Orlando, Florida, I saw it as an opportunity when I saw the astrology to host an oils temple for Egyptian oils. So Patrick and I will be at this Center Street, a place for the heart, on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock for our, we were kind of trying to do it mostly monthly, but for our beautiful oils temple and sound healing. So if we do have about 5 or 6 tickets left, if that's something you want to do, please come out and join us. It is also a good weekend, especially this weekend, if you're the kind of person that likes to do a bonfire or drum circles. You're going to feel that is a great thing to do. So you may want to join together with like-minded people to do ritual or celebration. And remember that when you're in an elevated state like meditation or ecstatic dance or listening to music like drumming, you actually are raising your state, you're raising your gratitude. And when you're doing that, you're creating that dragon fire energy that is able to help you fuel your own fire. And of course, I love fire. I love doing a release ceremony before a full moon or on a full moon, where I'm releasing very phoenix transformation, where I am burning away and releasing old beliefs, old habits, old magic, and connecting in and grounding and writing and speaking out loud and burning my intentions into being. So I know that one of my personal intentions this weekend is a bit of a bonfire to do that creative energy of connecting to this really potent, beautiful time where we're letting go of the old in the cycle of the year and coming into spring, coming into high growth season. Where is it you feel in your body that you are ready to live your life in a new way, in a way that opens up your heart and brings peace into your body? What do you need to do to be in peace? Following that North Star, following that North Node, and finding center and balance. It's always what I'm going to say. Equinox is about balance. Let go of the old. Claim the new. What are you growing? What are you planting? Now is the time, and the time is now. So I wish you an absolute wondrous spring equinox. This is as always one of my favorite ways to celebrate. And as you all know, I'm getting ready to go to Egypt, or maybe you don't know, but I'm getting ready to go to Egypt. And if you want me to bring you something back, I have a fun offer where I do the shopping for you. So if you are interested in one of my mystery boxes, which are a favorite, every time I do mystery boxes, people are just so overjoyed. You give me a little bit of information and I do the shopping for you and I bring you back beautiful gifts. We've got a link here for you to do that. And just talking about what's happening, I will still be doing our Magical Mondays. They just won't be live in April, but I have promised, and I do have the recordings in advance for you to still get your astrological updates. Every single week on Monday, they will still come out about the same time. We still will have the podcast. We will still do videos. They just won't be live in the month of April. But, and this is what's super exciting for me, I have interviewed beautiful women that inspire me to live magically. So you will be getting these interviews as a bonus content in April. So you'll start hearing some of my friends, some of my mentors, some of the people I work with that inspire me. You'll have an opportunity to see me have conversations about what it's like to live magically. While I'm off actually living magically, this is the first time I've ever taken a full sabbatical where I'm going to be off for the entire month of April. It's pretty exciting. However, if you are interested in the spiritual life coaching program, I won't be here to advertise it. So I'm just going to say now, if you've been waiting for the theta healing classes that I teach that are so transformative, I start the first weekend of May with the next basic theta healing class, with the next spiritual life coaching program. And we are going to run with it. We're just all the way in doing this. And for the first time in a while, I'm going to run in the next 12 months, and I love announcing it on something like the Spring Equinox, we are going to run the entire executive healer program in a row. So that means 17 theta healing classes that I teach. And this means if you are ready to really become the healer you were meant to be, if you were looking for a specific theta healing class that maybe you've missed in the round of classes that I've taught in the past, we are doing it. We are doing the executive healer at your request. It is time to do it now. So now is the time is now. And that is a big commitment. So if you want to talk with me about it, if you want to know if it's right for you, send me a private message and we'll hop on a call and we'll discuss whether this is the right program for you and whether there's something you want specifically on my theta healing calendar when I return in May. So with all of that said, have a beautiful Ostara, which is the name that we call it, or happy spring equinox, and go enjoy whatever this week brings up for you, because it is just a lovely energy full of balance and equilibrium. I love you and live magically.